Hello students, let's do ratio and proportion exercise 10a, which is found on page number 111. Question 1, express each of the following ratios in its simplest form. So the first question given to us is 4:6. Now this ratio can be first written as a fraction. So we write it as a fraction and then we need to reduce it to the lowest term by dividing both the numerator and the denominator by a common factor, and the common factor here is 2. Let's divide both by 2 and see what we're getting. 2 2s are 4 and 2 3s are 6. So the fraction in the simplest form is 2/3. When we convert it to a ratio, we write it as 2:3. That's the answer to the first one. Question 2, 48:54. So let's write that as a fraction, 48:54. Now we need to reduce it to the lowest term, divide both by a common factor, and the common factor here can be 2 or 3 or 6. Now let's use 6. And let's see what answer we get. 6 into what is 48? 6 8s are 48 and 6 9s are 54. So our fraction is 8/9. When we write that as we write 8:9. So the answer is 8:9 here. Question 3, 200:250. So like I said, first step, write it as a fraction. Then you need to reduce it to the lowest term. Now since both these numbers are ending in 0, I can finish one step here itself. I can cancel the 0. Now my numbers are 20/25. I can divide both by a common factor 5. Both are divisible by 5. Now let's see what we get here. 5 4s are 20 and 5 5s are 25. So we have got 4/5. When I write it as a ratio, I get 4:5. So this is my final step. I need to bring it back to a ratio. Question B, first one. 5 kg is to 800 grams. Now here, the first thing you need to notice is that the units are different, isn't it? One is kilogram and one is gram. We have to see that both the units are the same. And which is the bigger unit here? Kilogram. And it's always better to reduce kilogram to gram, the bigger unit to smaller unit, because it is multiplication, and multiplication is easier. Now let's see, 1 kilogram equals 1000 grams. Therefore, 5 kg will be 5 into 1000, which is 5000 grams. So let's write it here. So our ratio is 5000 gram is to 800 gram. So now let's continue and write the steps. So here first step will be writing both these numbers as a fraction. So 5000 by 800. Now let's cancel what we can. 1 0 on top, 1 0 down. So now our numbers are 50/8. Again, to reduce it to the lowest term, reduce it by a common factor. The common factor here is 2. We can divide both by 2. So when we divide by 2, we get 2 into what is 50? 2 into 25. And 2 into what is 8? 2 4s are 8. So we have reduced it to 25:4. So our final answer will be 25:4. That is our ratio. Question 2, 30 centimeter and 2 meters. So the units are different, centimeter and meter, and the bigger unit is meter. So let's convert meter to centimeter. 1 meter has 100 centimeter. Therefore, 2 meters will have 200 centimeters. So here let's rewrite this question as 30 centimeters is to 200 centimeters. So first step, let's write it as a fraction, 30 by 200. Now let's cancel. I can cancel 1 0 there and 1 0 here. Now there's nothing more that I can do. So this is my fraction, 3 by 20. So my final answer as a ratio will be 3:20. This is my final answer. Next question is also meter and centimeter, and we convert meter to centimeter. 1 meter is 100 centimeters, therefore 3 meters is 300 centimeters is to 90 centimeters. Now we'll write it as a fraction, 300 by 90, and let's cancel 1 0 there and 1 0 here. Now I can divide both by 3. To reduce it to the lowest term, I can divide both by 3. Now 3 into what is 30? 3 tens are 30 and 3 threes are 9. So my fraction is 10 by 3. So my ratio will be 10:3. Question 4. 2 years and 9 months. Now which is a bigger unit, years or months? We know that years is bigger. 1 year has 12 months, isn't it? 1 year has 12 months. So 2 years will be 12 into 2, which is 12 twos are 24 months. So let's change this to 24 months is to 9 months. So now let's write it as a fraction, 24 by 9. Now I'm going to divide both by 3. It's a common factor, so we'll divide both by 3. 3 eighths are 24 and 3 threes are 9. So my fraction is 8 by 3, which cannot be reduced. So my ratio is 8:3. Question 5. 1 hour and 45 minutes, which is a greater unit, hour. So in 1 hour, we have 60 minutes, isn't it? So we'll change this to 60 minutes is to 45 minutes. Now we will write it as a fraction, 60 by 45. We'll reduce it to the lowest term by dividing it by 5. So we get 12 fives are 60, isn't it? So 12 and 5 nines are 45. We've got 12 by 9, which can be reduced again. The common factor here is 3. Use 3 and divide. 3 fours are 12 and 3 threes are 9. We've got 4 by 3 and our ratio will be 4:3. Next question is 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Now 1 minute we know has 60 seconds. So let's convert this 4 minutes to 60 seconds so that both the units are the same. So 4 minutes will be 60 into 4. 4 zeros are 0, 6 fours are 24. So here we have 240 seconds is to 45 seconds. So let's write it as a fraction, 240 by 45. Both are divisible by 5. So let's divide it by 5 and see. Divide 240 by 5 and divide 45 also by 5. So let's divide 240 by 5 here. So 5 fours are 20. Then we have 4, I bring down 0. 5 eighths are 40. So now I have 48. Okay, so 5 into 48 will give me 240 and 5 nines are 45. We can reduce this further. Again, we can divide both by 3. Divide both by 3 and we get 4 into 6, 3 into 16. 16 threes are 48 and 3 threes are 9. We've got 16 by 3, which we can write it as a ratio 16:3. Next question, 1 by 2 is to 2 1 by 2. So these are fractions, isn't it? So first step, let's convert. 2 ones are 2 plus 1. 3 by 2 is 2. 2 twos are 4 plus 1, 5 by 2. So 3 by 2 is to 5 by 2, which is actually 3 by 2 divided by 5 by 2. So let me write that. 3 by 2 divided by 5 by 2. Now this is division of fractions. So we know when it is division of fractions what to do. The first fraction we write it as it is. Division changes to multiplication, and 5 by 2 we write the reciprocal 2 by 5. Now we can cancel 2 and 2. So what is left is 3 by 5, and our ratio is 3 is to 5. Next question. 3 1 by 2 is to 7. So let's convert. 2 3s are 6 plus 1. 7 by 2 is to 7, and we'll give it a denominator 1. So let's make this division. 7 by 2 divided by 7 by 1. So division of fractions, the first fraction remains the same. Division changes to multiplication. 7 by 1 we write the reciprocal. Now we can cancel. We can cancel 7 and 7. So what is remaining is 1 by 2. So our ratio is 1 is to 2. Next question. We have 2 1 by 3 is to 3 1 by 2 is to 1 1 by 4. So first let's convert it. 3 2s are 6 plus 1. 7 by 3 is to 2 3s are 6 plus 1. 7 by 2 is to 4 1s are 4 plus 1. 5 by 4. Okay, when we have three fractions like this, we need to find the LCM. So 3, 2 and 4. Find the LCM of the denominators. Let's start with 2. I bring down 3. 2 1s are 2. 2 2s are 4. Again with 2. 3 1. 2 1s are 2. Now I use 3. 3 1s are 3. So my LCM is 2 into 2 into 3. 2 2s are 4. 4 3s are 12. Now we're going to find the ratio. So we take each one, take the first fraction, 7 by 3 into 12. So I'm going to cancel 3 into 4. So that becomes 7 4s are 28. So I have 28 as my first number in the ratio. So this part is over. Now let me take the second fraction, that is 7 by 2, and I'm going to multiply it with the LCM that I have. Let me cancel. 2 6s are 12, so that's it. I can't cancel anymore. 7 6s are 42. So I've got the second number in my ratio. Let's go on to the third one. 5 by 4 into the LCM, that is 12. Cancel what you can. 4 3s are 12. So what is left is 5 into 3, which is 15. 5 3s are 15. So my final ratio here is 28 is to 42 is to 15. The next question. X square is to 4x. First step is we write it as a fraction. So x square divided by 4x. Now what is x square? X into x. And 4x is 4 into x. So let's cancel what we can. I can cancel 1x there and 1x here. So what is remaining is x by 4, which I can write as a ratio x is to 4. So this is my answer for this question. X is to 4. Next one, 2.5 is to 1.5. So let's write it down as a fraction. 2.5 is to 1.5. Now let's make them whole numbers. Now how do we make them whole numbers? We have to move the point, isn't it? If we remove the point to the right, it becomes 25 and 15. So it moves by one place. That means I need to multiply by 10 because 10 has 1 0, and only then can I make them whole numbers. So now 2.5 into 10, the point moves one place to the right and becomes 25 and in the denominator I have 15. Now let's reduce this to the lowest term. Divide both by 5. Divide both by 5. Numerator by 5 and the denominator by 5. Now let's see what we get. 5 5s are 25 and 5 3s are 15. So I've got 5 by 3. If I write it as a ratio, it becomes 5:3. Next one, 2.5:5. So 1 is a decimal number and 1 is a whole number. Let's write it down. 2.5 by 5. Now we have to make 2.5 also a whole number. And we can do that by moving the point one place to the right. And that can be done only if we multiply it by 10. If we multiply the numerator by 10, we must multiply the denominator also by 10. Now what do we get? 2.5 into 10. The point moves one place to the right. We get 25. 5 into 10 is 50. So now we have 25 by 50. Let's divide both by a common factor. We can divide by 5. We can also divide by 25 itself, isn't it? So let's divide both by 25. So what do we get? 25 ones are 25 and 25 twos are 50. So my ratio will be 1:2. Question 2. A field is 80 meters long and 60 meters wide. Find the ratio of its width to its length. So let's start. Length of the field is 80 meters. Its width is 60 meters. Now we need to find the ratio of its width to its length. That means 60 meters is to 80 meters. Okay, so first we write it as a fraction, 60 by 80, and then we reduce it to the lowest term. We cancel the zeros. Now what we have here is 6 by 8. Think of a common factor to divide both. 2 is a common factor here. So when we divide 6 by 8 by 2, we get 2 3s are 6 and 2 4s are 8. So the ratio of its width to its length is 3:4. So this is our answer. 3:4. Next question. State true or false. A ratio equivalent to 7:9 is 27:21. This is a statement. Now we need to check if it is true or false. So the first ratio, 7:9, is already in the lowest form. So let's reduce 27 by 21 to the lowest form and see. 27 by 21, divide both by a common factor, and here we can divide it by 3. Both are divisible by 3. We get 3 9s are 27, 3 7s are 21. So the ratio here is 9:7. So let's go back to the question. The first ratio is 7:9 and the second ratio is 9:7, and the statement says these two ratios are equivalent, which is false. So the statement is false. Let's go to the second one. A ratio equivalent to 5:4 is 240:192. So the first ratio is reduced to the lowest term. Let's reduce the second one to the lowest term and see whether they are equivalent. First step, you write it as a fraction. Now we're going to reduce both to the lowest term by dividing both by the same common factor. We'll take 12 here. Let's divide both by 12. So 12 2s are 24. So 12 20s are 240. Now here 12 1s are 12. And what is remaining? 7. 72. So 12 6s are 72. So now I have 20 by 16 and I can reduce that further. So 20 by 16, again, let's reduce this using 2, the common factor 2. So here I'll divide 20 by 2 and 16 also by 2. Let's see what we get. 2 10s are 20 and 2 8s are 16. Now 10 by 8 can be reduced further. Again, both can be reduced using 2 again. So let's use 2 here. 2 5s are 10 and 2 4s are 8. So our ratio here is 5:4. So let's go to the question. Question 2. First ratio is 5:4. Second one, when I reduced it, I got 5:4. That means both these ratios are equivalent. So that statement is true. Third statement is a ratio of 250 grams and 3 kilograms is 1:12. Let's see if that statement is true. So first let's take 250 grams is to 3 kilograms. As you can see, the units are different. Let's get them to the same unit. So 250 grams, we'll leave it as it is. 3 kilograms, we can make it 3000 grams. Now let's divide 250 and 3000, put it in the fraction form, cancel whatever you can, and now divide with a common factor. We can divide both by 25 itself. Okay, now in that case we get 25 ones are 25. Now here also 25 ones are 25, but this number is 50, so I carry it here. It becomes 50 here. So 25 twos are 50. So now my fraction is 1 by 12. When I write it as a ratio, it becomes 1:12. Let's go back to the question. 250 grams and 3 kgs is 1:12, and the other ratio is also 1:12. That means this statement is also true. Question 4. Is the ratio of 15 kg and 35 kg the same as the ratio of 6 years and 14 years? Again, they have to be equivalent. So let's check and see if they are equivalent. What is the ratio of 15 kgs to 35 kgs? Let's work that out. So that will be 15 kg by 35 kg. When we write it as a ratio, remember we don't use the unit. So let me take this 15 by 35 as a fraction. And now we are going to reduce it to the lowest term by dividing both by 5. Divide both by 5. Now we get 5 3s are 15 and 5 7s are 35. So our ratio here is 3:7. Now let's see if the other ratio is the same. What is the ratio of 6 years to 14 years? So let's work that out. So 6 years by 14 years. Then we write it as 6 by 14. We divide both by a common factor. In this case, it is 2. And let's see what we get. 2 3s are 6 and 2 7s are 14. So here also the ratio is 3:7. The first one we got the ratio as 3:7, and the second ratio is also 3:7. So that means the ratio of 15 kgs and 35 kgs and 16 years and 14 years is the same. The question is, are they the same? Yes, they are the same. The answer is yes. Question 5. Is the ratio of 6 grams and 15 grams, this is one ratio, same as the ratio of 36 centimeters and 90 centimeters? So that means we need to find the ratio of these two and check the answers. The ratio of 6 grams and 15 grams will be, we write that as a fraction and then we divide with the same common factor, divide both by the same common factor. In this case, it's 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 3 2s are 6 and 3 5s are 15. So the ratio here is 2:5. Now let's see the next one. The ratio of 36 centimeters and 90 centimeters, let's write it as a fraction, 36 by 90, and let's divide it with a common factor, that is 9. Let's divide both by 9 and see what we get. 9 4s are 36, 9 tens are 90. Now we can divide these two again. We can use a common factor. We can use 2 this time. So let's divide using 2. We get 2 2s are 4 and 2 5s are 10. So the fraction is 2 by 5 and the ratio is 2:5. So the first ratio that we got was 2:5 and the second ratio is 2:5. So the ratio of 6 grams and 15 grams and the ratio of 36 grams and 36 centimeter and 90 centimeter is the same. The ratios are the same. So the answer to this question is yes. Next question. Find the ratio between 3.5 meters, 475 centimeters and 2.8 meters. So as you can see, we have different units. Let's convert them all to the same unit. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So 3.5 meters equals 3.5 into 100. And when we multiply a decimal number by 100, the point will move 2 places to the right and come here. So I need to put a 0 here. So this answer is 350 centimeters. Then the next one is, so this we got, this is already in centimeters. Let's do the next one, which is 2.8 meters. So that will again be 2.8 into 100. Since 100 has 2 zeros, I will move the point 2 places to the right and bring it here. So I need to fill this up. So my answer is 280 centimeters. Okay, so now I've got all three in the same unit. So the first one is 350 centimeters is to 475 centimeters, which is already in the question. And next one is 280 centimeters, which we have converted. Now we need to divide them all by a common factor. Which is a common factor? 5. So let's divide each one by 5. So 350 divided by 5. Let's work it out here. 350 divided by 5. 35. We have 5 sevens are 35. Minus, I take the 0 up and my answer is 70. So the first one that I get here is 70 is to, let's divide the second one, that is 475 by 5. So 47 we have, so 5 nines are 45 minus 2, I bring down 5, it's 25, 5 fives are 25 minus 0. So I have 95 here. So 70 is to 95 is to, let's take the third number, 280 divided by 5. I have 28, 5 fives are 25, minus 8 minus 5 is 3, I bring down 0, 5 sixes are 30. So now I have 56. My third number is 56. So this is my final answer. I have found the ratio between the three numbers, which is 70 is to 95 is to 56. Question 7. Find the ratio between 5 dozen and 2 scores. Here there is a hint given, 1 score is 20. So 5 dozen and 2 scores, let's get them to the same unit. 5 dozen means, now 1 dozen is 12 units. So 5 dozens will be 12 into 5, which is 60 units. Okay, so we'll write this as 60 here is to 2 scores. 1 score is 20 as we can see. So therefore 2 scores will be 20 into 2, which is 40. So we've got the second number also 40. Now let's find the ratio of these two numbers. First step, we write it as a fraction, 60 by 40. Then we reduce it to the lowest term. Let's cancel the zeros. Now let's divide 6 and 4 both by 2. So here what do I get? 2 3s are 6 and 2 2s are 4. So I have my fraction as 3 by 4 by 2. So my ratio will be 3:2. So the ratio between 5,000 and 2 scores is 3:2. So with that, children, we've come to the end of exercise 10A. In our next video, we will do exercise 10B. Thank you, children.